Right, well, good afternoon everybody. A few problems this morning with the camera, just trying to sort it out. Excuse me while I shut this door. Absolutely freezing here in the northeast. I've got my little heater on in the lower greenhouse and it's just on the 40 mark there. It's been absolutely bitter up here. Unfortunately, I've been full of cold the last 4 days, so I haven't gotten anything done. I've been housebound since Saturday, and of course with me operation coming up next week, I've spent last 2 mornings in the hospital, local hospital, pre-meds and swabs, bloods, etc. as you do before any operation. But anyway, besides all that, I wanted to get crack on this afternoon because the sun's just starting to come up there. I managed to get my strawberries delivered. They come yesterday with the post. Royal Mail, great, I was over the moon that, because if you've been watching my Facebook page, well, you'll know that I got the delivery yesterday. Now they're in the shed in the garage, keeping nice and cool. I didn't want to bring them in here with having the heater on. I know it's only keeping it on about 40, but I really like to keep them roots nice and cool. And that's the whole idea of my main crop. As I explained on the Facebook page, I got an email from the company, JD Parks, who I ordered them from, and of course they grew them in Holland, a lot of their strawberries, and of course with the warm weather they've had over there on the continent, it stopped the strawberries from going into their closing down and going into hibernation. So they've had to refrain from digging them up just yet. I'm hoping within the next week that'll happen, because it's been really cold here, and I'm sure it's been forecast over on the continent, really cold weather. So I'm hoping by this week they'll get them dug up, get them sorted and get them delivered. I'm hoping to get them in before next week so I can get them planted. I've had the mix made up for a fortnight up the allotment, waiting on them. But these ones that come yesterday by Royal Mail, I had a little look through the catalogue last week, and one of my catalogues in Sutton's had a great little offer on. And it's a variety that I've wanted for quite a while. It's Marshmallow, it's called. And they're a mid-season variety, nice big fruit. So I thought I'd splash out. It was buy one bundle, get the other one half price. So it was, it was pretty reasonable. I ended up paying about 90p a plant, which is nothing really for a really good strawberry plant. I mean, the last ones, my Victoria, I've had them for 14, 15 years, and they've been absolutely fantastic. But after last year, I thought, well, we need a change because the roots were getting a little bit thinner, and they weren't producing as much fruits as I had in previous years. So I thought this is the best year to get shot and get a full new crop, a whole new crop of runners. So we'll be taking all runners again next year as usual, from the new stuff. So I've got 4 varieties. I've got the two varieties that I got off Dave's show, the Colossus and the Singer Giganta. I've got them up the garden. They're in pots and they're just sitting outside on the benches, really cold. I've got the Marshmallow here. We'll get up the plot this afternoon or tomorrow morning if I feel any better. Get up the plot and I'll start potting up them strawberries, the runners. They're bare rooted runners, so all I need to do is I'm going to take a little bit of garlic up with this and some warm water and get the roots of washing that, and then pot them up into good sized litre pots, and they can just sit over the winter into there, right over on the benches until next year. I don't think I want to take these inside. I want to see how they perform outside first, and then what I might do is take a lot of runners from them next year and put the runners inside and bring them on a little bit earlier. But that's the beauty of buying new stock. You see how it goes first, how it grows outside, and then you can transfer the crop inside in later years once you start taking your own runners. But that's all for once we get up the plot. My main crop of strawberries, the ones I'm waiting for, are the Albion. Now they come from JD Parks. Now as I say, Parks grew a lot of their stuff in Holland. So I'm hoping by next week they'll come, so I can get them potted up into some mix and get them sat on the benches. If I haven't got time to put them in the baskets, I'll just get them potted up, and then we'll put them in the baskets as we bring them in January and February. By then I should be back on my feet again. But I'm looking forward to next year already. Once I get them out of the way, I'll be fine. Now as I say, we're finished off our beans or peas. I've got jack onions or garlics. I've got a few more jack onions to put in. I've still got some reds here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some multi-cell trays. I haven't got any down yet because I've taken them all up the garden. I'm going to get some of the real small bulbs. I'm going to get some multi-cell trays and I'm going to plant them in there and just let them grow away on the polytunnel benches, nice and cold, and then I can pot them off next year when I've got a bit more time. But that's a job for when I get up the garden, get them out of the way. As I say, we've got beans and peas in. Now I've got a message on the YouTube channel the other day, and it was from Fiona, and Fiona is from the Bromley Cottage Kitchen Garden. Now Fiona tells us she's just started picking her broad beans, and I thought, God, that's a little bit early, and I thought, you must be down under. And sure enough, within a half an hour I got a message back from her saying yes, she lives in lovely New Zealand. What a fantastic place to be. Welcome to the plot, Fiona, as I say. Me and Roger's over the moon with some of the new subscribers we've been getting over there. We've got William from Massachusetts, the USA. We've got Idaho Girl. We've got quite a few from the USA now coming over onto our Facebook channel, or YouTube channel, and watching what we'll get up to. So all the new ones is, as I say, welcome to the plot, and just enjoy yourself. If we can give you a few tips, by all means. Just keep following on our channel, and we've got a whole new year to go through next year. We've got new sheds to build, we've got new beds to be turned over, so we've got lots to talk about next year. But just follow us month by month, and we'll show you how we like to grow our vegetables. This is another little job I want to get done. Now over the back there on the wasteland, you know, the little bit of paradise behind me, there's a buddleia bush grows. And so what I've done last night, I went out the back there, I clipped a few of the branches down, and I'm going to take these up the garden, and what I'll do, I'll clip them up. I should get 2 good ones out of each one. Now it's a nice long cane, but I'm going to treat them exactly like I do with me grapevine canes. Now the grapevine I'm going to have to do next week. I was hoping to get it done this week, but by the time I get this done, get the strawberry started off, I want to get this video online. So next week, before I go into hospital, I'll do the grapevine. But what I intend to do with these, where I've cut them off here, I want a nice clean cut here, just below that bud. There's 2 buds there. The buds can be stripped off, or the leaf. Nice clean cut there, about a ½ inch to an inch under there, and then up. I'll use a nice tall black pot. I don't think I've got any down here. No, I haven't. I'll use a nice tall black pot around about the depth of that. So I'll measure from there to there, and that's a bud, and I'll probably take it from that outward grown bud there. So all in all, I've got about 8 inches of cane. So I should get 2 nice ones out of there. I can take it even take it to 10 inches. Like a nice long cane. So it's a nice straight cut on the bottom and a nice slanting cut on the top. Then that'll be put into sand, exactly the same as what I do with the grapevine. I'll put in sand in the bottom of the pot, stand them up, and pack nice peaty sand around them. I'll put 2 in a pot because there's 4 canes there. Or I'll put 4 in a pot. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I can get 3 or 4 in a pot, and we'll get them planted, ready for next year. They'll just go in a cool polytunnel. You know, what you can do with these, you can do exactly the same thing. Cut at the bottom, slant at the top, leave it slightly longer, and you can make a big trench in the garden, like I did with the fruit bushes early on in the year. Make a big trench in the garden, nice sheltered spot, bit of sand and gravel at the bottom, stick them in there, pack the soil back up, and go along with your foot and really harden them up. Because they're hardwood cuttings, and they'll root away just as well in the garden in springtime. They'll start coming away, and you'll get some nice young buddleias. But what I'm going to do with these are going to stop up a plot. I might take one home to the new garden, but what I'll do is I'll leave most of them up the plot, and they'll stop up there, because buddleia are fantastic for the butterflies. And if you can bring bushes, trees, shrubs, anything that's going to attract them butterflies down, not on your cabbages, onto there, I'm over the moon, because once again you're not using chemicals. The only thing we've had to use this year on my sprouts is a couple of garlic sprays, and I'm over the moon with that. We've got a first class crop of sprouts this year. The year before was a disaster, because when I was in hospital, and of course Roger was on his own, the butterflies had come down, laid their eggs, and within a couple of weeks the sprouts were just decimated. So partially my fault, because I wasn't there and we hadn't netted them, so it's a lesson well learned. I bought a net just in case we needed it, but excuse me, what we did do is, I say, I give them a couple of good soaks of colic spray, and that did the trick. Fantastic. But if I can get some extra bushes into the garden with a bit of flower, that'll attract the butterflies down, I'm over the moon. So that's a buddleia. We'll take a buddleia up the garden with for tomorrow, and we've got the strawberries up there, so we'll get up, we'll get cracking, we'll get these potted up. I'll show you the grapevine, and then hopefully next week, if the other strawberries turn up, we'll get them potted up, and then that'll be me lot until the new year. But it's, as I say, it's not bad yet. It's 40 degrees. What I intend to do is bring a few fuchsias and that down here, and a few geraniums that's sitting up there in the cool greenhouse. They'll come down here, and they're overwintering here. And it's just on that very low heat, it's just keeping the greenhouse frost free, and that's all I want. I might end up bringing a few of the chrysanthemums down here in the pots, standies on the benches, and the dahlias that I saved, they can go underneath where they're kept nice and dry. So I'll be well chuffed, as I say. Once I go into hospital, I'll not have to worry about anything. The tubers, the stools, they'll all be saved into here. They'll be frost free, and they'll be fine for when I come back out again. And we'll start in January taking cuttings and all ready for next year. But that's a long way off yet. But not to worry. We're trying to get planning well ahead. Trying to think of things I need to get out the road now before I do go into hospital. But for the time being, I'm gonna knock off here, get myself a plot, because the sun's still up. I might get an hour up there this afternoon and get these cut and trimmed up, take my secateurs up. What I do need to take up is some honey. I've got rooting powder there, but if you don't like using rooting powder, you can take honey and dip the bases in a bit of honey, and it'll do exactly the same thing as a rooting powder. It'll give you protect the skin where you've cut it, stop the juices from flowing, and hopefully it'll help them root out next year into a first class plant. But that's a buddleia anyway. We'll get them up, we'll get them cut up, get them planted, and then hopefully we'll get the grapevine started next year. But that's all for a future video. For the time being, I want to get cracking, get up there, get a plot, and get these strawberries sorted. Okay, I'll see you all up there soon. Right, well, good afternoon everybody. I've managed to get up here and got myself well wrapped up, because it's absolutely freezing again here in the northeast. But there's a few jobs I want to get try and tackle this afternoon in the garden. But as I've been sitting the other week, I finally managed to get my leaf harvested. That's me 20 bags for the big polytunnel next year. And of course, these will go on the tomato crop. And you can feel by that, it's a really good solid bag. Now once I get this back end cleared, and all the timber and the rubbish will just be stacked on there, and they'll sit in the bags until next May or June. By then they should be well rotted down, and they'll be perfect for putting over the tomatoes. But we'll go all through that next year. As I say, it's a job I need to get done at the back end of the year, every year. 20, 30 bags of leaves, and they always come in handy. They're a fantastic mulch for the tomatoes. Once the tomatoes are finished, turn it in, and it's a great booster for the soil. It doesn't take any nutrients out of the soil, it doesn't take any nitrogen. The leaves will rot down by themselves, you know. Just if you leave them in a bag, in a year's time, 2 years' time, it'll be a lovely crumbly compost that you can add to your own compost. Add your own soils and your own sand, and it'll make a lovely mix up for your plants. But that's the leaf harvest over with anyway. So what I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to get inside and get started on these strawberries, okay? Okay, well, that's a little bit better now. A little bit warmer inside, yeah, not much though. Cool greenhouse, as I say. We're in the midwinter now, so it's the perfect time to, normally I like to tackle my grapevines in the December, mid-December, just before the solstice. But the leaves are dropping well off now, so I'm going to try and get these tidied up a little bit and take a few cuttings before next week, before I go in. So if you remember this one, I potted this single rod up in this big pot here. And I'm going to intend just to grow this on next year. It's just a single vine with a couple of side shoots, and hopefully get a couple of bunches of grapes from it. Now I did leave it 2 up in the summer. I wasn't sure which one was going to be the strongest, but that's a really good strong vine there. So all I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to nip this one out, just take away this tire, and I'm going to take this bottom one out and just leave a single stem. That can come away now. Which is a nice big, nice long stake. Now this bottom end here is perfect for using for cuttings. And what I'll do is next week I'll do the video on the cuttings, but I'll show you how to go on these canes. But the top pieces can just be cut off. Get rid of them, get rid of them. Oh, that's a perfect cane. You get a lovely cutting off that. You'll have to trim it top and bottom. But I'll put that at one side. And no doubt once I get once I get round to taking the bud layer cuttings, I'll do the grapevines next week. Now, this is just a simple job of tidying up the side shoots. So the top, there's a branch there, or there's a bud there I should say. And I'll cut that bud, take that off, take all the old leaves off, a little bit of nipping here and there, and then that one can get cut at that bud, just ½ inch past the bud, and that's left two nice buds on there, nice centre vine, and we'll let the side shoots come off on there. I'll maybe just put another bit of frame on there next year. But you've got the gist of it. You've got your centre rod, and you'll let a couple of side shoots grow off. Maybe it's 4 side shoots, and you hopefully get 2 or 3 bunches of grapes off that next year. Now if you look behind the vine that I planted last year, it's absolutely went berserk. It's just all over the shop. There's the main stem once again. The main stem comes over the top here, and what I tend to do is to travel this all the way along there. But I will do that in the video. But for where the side shoots are coming down from the bottom, I'm going to cut them straight out. And once again, this is your job of taking the bits of stalk off. Most of the leaves are dying off now, so they're pretty easy enough to come off. You find some little side stems that have been growing on, put them away. Always helps when you've got a nice good sharp pace like that, which I always struggle to get because I get left lying around. So that's perfect. When that gets straightened up, I'll get 1, 2, 3, at least 3 cuttings just off that one piece of vines. Now as I say, these weren't any good. They were growing away in the wrong place, side shoots, so as I'll take them off, and as I say, you can use them for cuttings for next year. I'll put them to one side. I'll do them in the next video. And what we'll do now, hopefully, we'll get some of these strawberries sorted out. Okay, right, well it's nice to be back inside. As I say in the far greenhouse here, I've still got a few repairs to do in here. I've got the polythene to take down, clean. The outside is washed down, and then put the polythene back in. This is a liner on the inside. And we'll put a little bit of heat on here, but unfortunately this year it's not going to happen. Maybe it's in January and February I might get the front heater underneath the benches and just to put a little bit of gentle heat on. But for the time being, it's great for when it's cold outside and escaping inside and getting a few little jobs done. As I say on the next video, I'm hoping to get the grapevines tackled, take the cuttings and prune the vines back. But I'll do that in a short video before next week, before I go off. But as I mentioned, I've made a mix up. I've got a mix made up for a fortnight now. It's absolutely beautiful. I was just a full bag of multi-purpose compost and half a bag of my own homemade compost, just lightly sieved, not too light, and then a good shovelful of good sharp sand, a couple of handfuls of bone meal. Don't forget the bone meal. Bone meal is a nice long-lasting fertiliser which will stop in your soil, stop in your pots. And these strawberries are going to be in here well into the beginning of next year before I have to pot them off. I haven't quite made my mind up yet. I don't want to force them. And these are the marshmallow. I don't want to force these at all. I want to see how they grow first for the first year. What I am going to do is I'm going to pot them up and I'm going to put them on a bench so they've got a little bit of protection, but they're still going to be open to the wind and the cold and the rain. It's just that little bit of top protection on the top is going to stop the heaviest of the snows not falling on them. They're rooted runners, that's what they are. And when I did, I brought them down, I put them in a little bit of water in a tray, and I just let them all take up their own water. But they're sitting there, there's a couple of packs of them. You'll find that they come in packs like that. There's 12 in a pack. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah. 12 in a pack, and that's how they turn up. And that's how I like mine to be. And it's a simple job, because where they've cut them in the field, you'll find the old stems still on them. That's a stem there without a leaf. And it's easy just to pull them back, because if you don't, they'll end up just rotting off, and it could end up damaging your plant. So I'll pull that right back, and there's a true leaf there. Absolutely fantastic. It's a lovely little plant, that. Well, they'll go straight into the pot. As I say, you can give them a good soak, and they've had a little bit of drink. What I normally do is I like to get a little bit of garlic in the water and soak them in that. But unfortunately, I'm forgetting to bring the garlic up with us. I've got a little bit down home in the garage. So what I'll do is I'll bring it up for the next lot. Now, I'm not going to plant these too deep. I'm just going to plant the roots and have the crown. That's perfect. And the roots are in, and the crown is just sitting on the top of the pot there. Well, to me, that's spot on. And there's a little bit of gap there. There's ½ inch for watering, but as I say, I always water mine from down below. So I'm not really worried about that. I can go across with that with a watering can and not have any worries. As I say, the crown of the plant just sitting proud of the top there. And that's where you want it. You can give them a good spraying if you want, but all mine will get now is a good spraying with garlic. This soapy water. There's no bugs around now, well there shouldn't be. It's cold now, so you're not getting any green fly, white fly, grey fly, anything like that. What you will have to watch for is the bugs in your soil. Larvae, stuff like that. Just make sure your compost is nice and clean before you start putting your plants in. Otherwise, come springtime, when it starts warming up, your larvae will hatch out and they'll start eating away at the roots of your plants. So that's one thing you just got to watch for. You can get all sorts nesting in them. There again, that's well cleaned down. Got a good root system on it. They haven't been lifted long from the farm, from the land, so just lie flat. Just keeping your thumb and forefinger just level with the top of that, level with the top of your pot. And you'll find it's an easy enough job just to pack your soil in around them. Just so they're nice and comfortable. Then roots are making contact with the soil, and your plant's all potted up. And once again, that's fantastic. That's just sitting proud of that compost there. And once again, it's ½ inch below the pot. So I'm well chuffed for that. So that's 2 done. And I'm just going to work my way through these. I'll get this dozen done this afternoon. Once again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, where there's been leaves on them and they've just been chopped back. So all I'm doing is just pulling them back. It's an easy job to do. I do all this with all my young cutting plants, my runners. I take all the rubbish off them. And there again, you've got a lovely crown there first, and you've got a nice young growth there. But these aren't going to stop inside the greenhouse, they're going straight outside. Because what I don't want to do is to get them too warm. That's a lovely root system. So again, just hold it level with the top of the compost where you want it. Pack your soil in around it. Level that up, and you'll find it's an easy enough job. Just firm that down, tidy it up, first class. Once again, root ball just sitting on the top there, on the crown. I'm just going to work my way through these, and what I will do is I'll give them a good soak with a watering can on the top, then I'll go and sit outside on the benches for the rest of the winter. I might bring half a dozen of them inside in pots. Plant them up in January or February and March, because then I'm surmising if they start growing away well, this will be well full of root. So I might pot them up into a decent sized bucket and bring half a dozen of them inside and just see how they perform inside. As I say, it's the first time I've grown these, the first time I've had this variety, but it's got a good name. There's quite a few people like it, so I'm always open to trying new varieties. As I say, they look a bit scruffy at the moment, the plants, but no doubt they'll pick themselves up. Just hold the root system down there, top of the pot. It's an easy enough job just to grow on with your compost. Just make sure your compost well free draining with strawberries. They don't like being sitting in water, and that's why I always add plenty of sharp sand with mine, and it just makes it a really free draining mixture. Quite easy to do. If you haven't got your own compost, you can use your own garden soil. Just make sure your garden soil is clean. You know you haven't had any pests or diseases in it. And once again, there we go, pull them off. Just so that, just the old stems there. And it's nice and clean. Right back to fresh bud. Lovely crown, lovely clean crown there. With a good root system on it. Perfect. And these will gallop away. Once they're in this fresh compost here, the roots get in, they'll be well away. And I'm pleased I sent away for them now. The only thing I'm waiting for now is my main crop coming, and that's the Albion. Now they're going to go into the baskets. They're going to be planted a completely different way. Same mixture, once again, exactly the same mixture. Just that I'll be putting bags in the baskets and putting young plants into the baskets, and they'll flower and fruit in the baskets, but they'll be inside the polytunnel. But once again, they'll not get brought in until around the end of February, beginning of March. I don't like to bring them in too early. I like all my strawberries to be outside and get a really good frosting. Breaks their dormancy, sets the fruit buds up. Once you bring them inside, give them a good clean, good spraying, gentle feed, and that sets them up perfect for the spring. And of course you'll get a first class crop of them. So that's the strawberries out the way. That's the first ones. I've got about 6 to do, so I'm just going to knock off now, and then I'll get back down home. I've got a bit of sharp sand to take down the barra, and I'm going to do them bud layer cuttings down home in the greenhouse, which is a little bit warmer. And then we'll finish the video off. Okay, see you all again. Okay, right, well, good afternoon everybody. It's been a couple of days since I started this video, but unfortunately, as I said in the last one, I've been full of cold, and it's taken us quite a while to get it shaken off. So I popped up the garden this afternoon. I was going to finish off this video down home, but unfortunately I forgot to bring some sharp sand down with us. You know, to me sharp sand's a must. As you know, I use it in all my mixtures, especially when I'm taking cuttings, hardwood cuttings that is going to be sitting over the winter in their pots, and I always like to make sure I've got plenty of sharp sand. So that's what I like to start with. And of course I like to use a nice deep pot, nice deep rose pot, and what I put in the bottom is a good 2 inches of wet sharp sand. The reason I put the sharp sand in the bottom, as well as being in the mixture, is that it's free draining. Once you start to root, they'll root in the sharp sand, so there's never going to be any trouble with them being waterlogged. They'll always have free drain at the bottom of them. And then come next year, when we tip them out the pots, you'll have a first class root system on them. And of course this is a bud here. I took 3 or 4 shoots. Now I've already done 2 pots. It's quite an easy job to do. I put 3 in a pot there, and I've got another couple of this one to take another couple of good cuttings. And they're first class cuttings, deep rooted cuttings are in the pots, so I'm going to finish off this last one. As I say, where I took them, it was a bit dark when I took them off, so I couldn't really see what I was doing, but where that bottom bud is, I want a nice straight cut about a ½ inch, nice and fresh, good pair of secateurs. Then when you come up the board, you can take off the leaves if you want. It doesn't really matter, because this is where your new growth's going to come from next year. And if you just measure your pot, you're going to sit that first root into the wet sand and that root there is a couple of inches higher than the pot, so that's the one I'm going to take off. I'll take off them leaves there, and what I'll have here is ½ inch above again, but a slanting cut on a slant, so when you water, the water runs off. It's same with any cuttings that you take in the garden. And there's a first class cutting there. So once again, on the bottom, we're going to take them bottom ones, come up there, ½ inch past there, nice straight cut off. It doesn't really matter about this one, height wise, but what I am going to take off is them leaves, and I'm going to give it a nice sharp cut, ½ inch once again, on a slant from that bud there, and that's a perfect cutting. Them leaves can come off. As I say, they'll root away from there next year. So all you need to do now is to get your cuttings and just push them in the sand, and you'll find they stand in the wet sand perfectly. So it's an awkward job when you're trying to pile fresh compost around them. It's an easy job. Fill the pot right at the top, or a good ½ inch anyway, on below the rim. And then what I like to do is just get an open of bamboo, hold your cutting, and then with the bamboo, nice and thick, go right round, and make sure you pack this well in. And it's exactly the same with the grapevine cuttings. So when we take the grapevine cuttings this week, I'll do exactly the same thing. Make sure they're well packed in. They don't like to be moved around the soil. It's the same with any plant really. If it's getting blown around the wind, although these will be in the greenhouse in the bottom polytunnel, they'll be completely cold and sheltered. I still like to have them well packed in so there's no movement. And that one again, just hold on to it, make sure it's well packed in around. Now what I didn't do on here, with these cuttings, I didn't use any rooting powder. Sometimes I like to put a little bit of honey on them. But in the springtime, when I start taking all my cuttings, especially off these guys, the chrysanthemums, now it's a must, this is a job I must get done this week. I've got quite a few of them still to cut back. I've just been letting them finish flowering the blooms off them. Absolutely fantastic, lovely pink, some lovely flowers off them. The yellows, the whites have all been great. Not as good as what they normally are, but as I say, I've had problems this year, but hopefully next year. So we'll get these cut back this week. I'll cut them right back to the stool, about 6 inches from the stool, clean the pots up, and what I want to do is I want to take 6 or 8 of these down home in my little greenhouse where I've got that little heater on. It's only keeping it frost free, 40, 45, that's all. It's just going to keep any really cold temperatures off them while I'm hospitalised and out of action. The last thing I want to do is ask the wife to run up and downstairs to check the heater's working and blah blah blah. As long as I know that they're nice and tidy in the greenhouse, with a little bit of heat on underneath them, I'll be well pleased. I've just finished off the last of the strawberries, the marshmallow. I was 2 dozen of them done, and that's them there. They're going outside now on the outside bench. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a watering. So that's 3 pots of that. These are to go in there. These are to go in the polytunnel, bottom polytunnel. But what I am going to do with all the cuttings and all the strawberries is give them a little watering, because what I did bring up with this, I think it's still in my bar outside, is a couple of videos ago when I did the garlic spray, I still had a few of the bulbs lying in the pan in the shed down home. So what I've done, I've crushed them up, even though they've been boiled before. I crushed them up, poured a bit of water on them, and lo and behold, it's a lovely aroma. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour that into a watering can and give everything a good soak with that, and then just put them on the back bench, and they're there for the winter, and they'll be getting no more attention till the springtime. I might bring 2 or 3 of them inside. I still haven't decided yet. I've been reading up on them. They're quite a good variety, the marshmallow. But I want to experiment with them. As I say, I've got 2 dozen of them, so I can leave at least 20 outside to grow into pots, and I can bring maybe bring the odd 4 inside and just experiment on them and see how they grow. With bring them on in a little bit of heat. Not so much heat, but inside the polytunnel, cold polytunnel, but it's still lifting it up them few degrees from outside. So we'll see anyway. We'll see how the strawberries are for next year, and I get myself back on my feet. But I'm well chuffed with them. As I say, if I get the chrysanthemum this week, I'll probably make another video tomorrow on the grapevine. I'll do the last of the grapevine. I know there's about 4 to be done. I'll maybe just go into the big polytunnel and do the black ones. Now the black ones I've only planted this year. I rooted them at the back end of last year for this year, and they've just shot away in that, and they're lovely. So I'm hoping we're going to get some crops off the black ones next year. But what I'll do, I'll start the video off in there. I'll get these chrysanthemums done, and then we'll do another video on the grapevine cuttings towards the end of next week before going to hospital, and that'll be them finished. So, as I say, my idea was to get up here this afternoon, get this video finished and get it online, because I know I haven't been online for about a fortnight now since my last video, but when you're down, you're full of cold, you just can't be bothered. I know there's loads to do, there's loads of jobs I could be starting on. Roger's been up, bless him, every other day, making sure the beds are tidied up. He's pulled down the last of the old shed that was up the top end there. That's all ready to be burnt, but that's going to have to wait until the turn of the year when we get ourselves pulled around. All them jobs can wait until next spring. We're busy mucking this big bed in here. I must get another couple of bags of muck before next weekend. And then that greenhouse in here will be finished. Roger can get it turned in, because the early tatties going into this greenhouse. I've never had any in for a few years, so it's about time we'll give it a good clean note. We'll fill it with tatties, and then it'll clean all the soil up and get it ready for next year. We may get a few peppers, chilies, maybe a few cucumbers, or some sweet corn into here next year. But that's months away yet. But you know, I always like to try and plan ahead. So for the time being, I'm going to knock off. I'm going to finish this video off. I just want to say a big thank you once again to all the new subscribers. There's quite a few come on there this last couple of weeks. I hope you're getting something from the videos. I hope we're helping. If you do need questions and answers down below, don't forget to comment. I had a little video of Dave Robson from Dave's allotment the other day, and they're doing 3 facts about what you've learned this year. But I'm going to have a look at that, and maybe comment on that before the end of next week before going to hospital. Maybe just get a short video online with that, but that'll be it. And then it's going to be the middle of December before the next video. I'll probably do one upstairs if I'm able to get around and about and up and down the stairs. I'll maybe do a short one outside of my back greenhouse, getting the seeds and that ready for January, because we're not that far away now. We're only 5-6 weeks away. Even though I'm not putting a lot of heat on, there is still plants and seeds you can put in at that time of the year. So we'll look forward to that, look forward to January. But as I say, if I can get another video done next week on the grapevine, and just a couple little bits and pieces tidying up, and we'll be well chuffed with that. But for the time being, I'm going to give you a good soap with garlic spray, garlic water, give them a good wash, get them outside on the back benches, and then it's another job off my agenda. Off my list. I've still got a few red onions here to plant. I might include that in the video, because I've got 2 pots up there still to fill, 2 big trays. That's another bag full I picked up from Wilkinson's. There's some really nice onions in amongst them. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort the big ones out, probably put 2 rows of the big ones, and any of the tiny ones that's left I'm going to put them in just a multi-purpose seed tray and just see how they grow. I've usually got loads of them lying around, but I've been that tidy, and the last couple of days everything's just stuck away where it should be. But that's another job. We might include that in the last of the videos. But for the time being, I'm going to get the garlic spray on these, or the garlic wash, get them outside on the benches, and then get myself way back down home where it's warm. Because as I say, I've got all my gear on to try and keep myself warm. Got my lower boots on. And the last thing I want to do is to still have a cold before going to hospital and find out I'm not operating us. So let's get myself back to full health, get back down home where it's nice and warm, and get stuck into some of my magazines. I've got plenty of magazines here now. They've come from all over. Suttons, Kings, Browns, plenty of fruit catalogues, so you know, I've got loads to read of a night time. And it's great to get some fantastic ideas that don't cost you a lot. And that's the whole point of gardening. If you can get by on just a few coppers, make use of stuff you've got at hand, it's great. And of course, this is one of them, taking cuttings. It's the cheapest way of making new plants for yourself. I mean, out of them few branches, I'm getting 3, 6, 8 good cuttings there. For all roots, you're only going to keep a couple, and the rest will be given away to family and friends. and that's what it's all about. Sharing and giving. That's what the garden's for. And as I say, we'll keep an eye on them, and hopefully next year we'll have 8 new buddleia bushes. We'll plant a couple out in the plot. The butterflies that do come down, they'll come onto them, and hopefully they'll leave our cabbages alone. And that's what it's all about. It's being confident with your garden, giving your bugs and the birds and the wildlife a little place to, a little haven to come down onto, and hopefully they'll leave your vegetables alone. And that's the whole idea of it. But for the time being, we'll knock off, and we'll get our way down home. I'll get us online in the night, and I hope to see us all again in a week's time. As I say, don't forget, if you want to comment down below, well, on my Facebook page most nights. So if you can't wait for the videos, get one on my Facebook page. It's Jeff Foreman on the Plot. Send a friend's request, and we'll get you signed up, and you can talk every night on our Facebook page. As I say, we're on there most nights. We've got people from all over the world now. As I commented in the beginning of the video there, Fiona from New Zealand, well chuffed for that. And we've got loads from the United States, great place, and Australia, but India. We've got quite a few now, so I'm well chuffed. But as I say, don't forget, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon on the plot. Okay, bye for now.